is Sarah Bowen. I am the artist behind Tiny Things by Bowen here in Tulsa, and I'm super excited that you're here to craft with me today. Today's project is called Monster Emotions, and we're going to be making some grumpy monsters, and then we're going to talk about some ways we can make them feel better. And I just wanted to show you some examples to start out with. I want you to see that all of these monsters look different. They have different numbers of eyes. Their bodies look different. Some of them are slimy or have tentacles. Some of them have eye stalks like a snail. And some of them are furry. But they're all grumpy. And we're going to draw a monster together. Yours can look as much like mine or totally different. It's up to you, whatever you want. The materials that we'll need today are a piece of paper and whatever you want to draw with. So I'm going to use a marker so you can see it really well. If you would rather use a crayon or a colored pencil or a regular pencil, that is totally up to you. And so to get started, I'm going to move the camera down so you can see my paper and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so to get us started, we're going to draw some eyes. So I think for this monster, I'm going to give it 3 eyes. You can do however many you want. If you want to look back at the examples to get some more ideas, you could do that. Maybe you want to make a cyclops with 1 eye. Who knows? You can do all kinds of stuff. And then I'm going to give my monster some pupils. And whenever I draw pupils, I like to leave a little white spot. If you look at anybody's eye, you'll see a little bit of light reflecting there. So here I have my monster's eyes. And right now he could be feeling anything. We don't know. But I'm going to make him look like he is really grumpy. So what do our faces look like when we're angry? Make an angry face right now with me. Ooh, what happened to your eyebrows? Where did they go? Did they go up or down? Right, they went down. They smooshed in towards your nose like this. Whenever we see someone with eyebrows like this, we know, uh-oh, they're angry. So let's give our monster some angry eyebrows. I like to make them like V's, where this side, like an upside down V, and the side that goes towards their nose is way longer because that's where it gets smooshed down. So this monster is clearly grumpy now. What about our mouths? What do they do when we're grumpy? Maybe they get smooshed up real small with a frown like this. Or maybe they're so angry that they're snarling their teeth like this, like an animal. Whatever kind of mouth you want to give your monster, go ahead and do that. I think I'll do a big frown with some pointy teeth coming out. Do you know what carnivore means? That means they eat meat. They need those sharp teeth to tear the meat off. Maybe that's what kind of animal, what kind of monster this is. Maybe yours is not a meat eater. All right, so we have our angry mouth, our grumpy eyebrows. Give your monster any kind of nose that you want. You decide. Maybe it's a square or a triangle or a circle. I think I'll just give mine a couple little dots for nostrils. Now, our monster needs a body. Maybe you want to give it a hairy body, maybe a slimy one. Or maybe it's got lots of tentacles like an octopus. You decide. Whatever you want your monster to look like, go ahead and do that. I'm going to make this one fuzzy. Maybe part of why he's grumpy is he's having a bad hair day. He's got some wild, spiky hairs. Whatever kind of body you're going to give your monster, go ahead and do that. Make sure it has some feet. Maybe the feet are actually tentacles. Or maybe your monster doesn't have feet and he floats. That's okay too. So our monster has some feet. Now I'm going to give this monster some arms. I'm going to give him 3 arms. You can give yours however many you want. And we're going to give this monster some things to make it feel better. Because whenever we feel really grumpy, there's some things that we could do to feel better too, right? So think about what kind of things would you do if you were really grumpy? Has anybody ever been really grumpy and then you realized, I haven't had a snack today? Ooh, yeah, we call that hangry. We're angry because we're so hungry. So I'm going to give this monster a healthy snack. Maybe I'll give him an apple. to eat. That'll make him feel better. And I drew it right here like he was holding it with his little hand, and I didn't even have to draw his hand. So he's got an apple. Maybe a glass of water could go with the apple. It's really important that we stay hydrated, right? So you could just do a rectangle with some little lines like that to make a water bowl or water cup. All right, so he has a healthy snack with water. What else could this monster do to calm down? What about, has anybody ever done any breathing exercises? Ooh, some of us have tried. Cool. So I want to show you my very favorite one, and it's called belly breathing. So take your hand and put it on your tummy. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a really big sniff through our nose, and then we're going to let it out through our mouth. So try it with me and see what happens to your tummy. Ready? In through your nose and out through your mouth. Could you feel your tummy expand when your lungs filled up with air? Let's try it 2 more times all together and see how we feel. So hand on your tummy, sit up nice and straight. Big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, make this one extra good. In through your nose, extra sniff. Hold it a second. Okay, now when you let it out, make a sound like an owl. Good. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. Nice. Maybe go like this with your head, your neck. Make your neck feel better. Check in. How do you feel? I feel kind of relaxed. It kind of made me feel like I just got a little massage. So breathing is a really good way to make ourselves feel better when we're grumpy. So to remind my monster of that, I'm just gonna draw a little puff of breath. That's him breathing out and feeling a little better. You could also count. Sometimes counting helps us calm down. You can sit there and breathe and go 1, 2, 3, and breathe out 1, 2, 3, or maybe you want to count to 10. However you want to count, let's remind our monster that they can count to feel better. I'm just gonna write however many numbers fit on my page. Ooh, I fit 6 on there. All right, what else can our monster do to calm down and feel better? Have you ever talked to a friend when you felt really grumpy and they made you feel better? That's happened to me for sure. Let's give our monster a friend. Let's make him look different. Since everybody looks different, all of our friends are different shapes and sizes and colors. Let's give him a little different looking monster. I'm gonna give this one some little eye stalks like a snail. He's gonna have a big smile because he's here ready to support his friend, make him feel better. What kind of stuff do you like to do with your friends? Maybe activities could help us feel better. Think about what do you like to do outside and then draw that for your monster. Maybe you like, I like sports. Maybe I'm gonna give my monster a soccer ball. And soccer balls seem like they're hard to draw, but they're not. You don't have to put that fancy shape inside. You can just do circles. And I'm just gonna fill mine in. And when our eyes look at that, even though it's not the exact shape of the pieces in the soccer ball, we know what that is. So our monster could go outside, play soccer, get really active. The more we run around and get in the sun, the better it's gonna feel. Speaking of the sun, do you know what it does for our bodies? It gives us vitamin D, and that is a very special vitamin that's hard to get in our food, no matter how healthy we eat. So I always like to remind my monster to go outside, get some sun. That's gonna make him feel better. All right, did you think of anything else that you like to do outside that you might like to give your monster? I think that jumping on the trampoline is a really fun way to get out some of that energy. I think I'll give my monster a little trampoline, maybe color it in, give it little legs. And in cartoons, when there's movement, since they stay still, we can put little lines like this that show that he's jumping up and down. So So see if you can show some movement in there. Maybe he's got a little scooter and he's going this way and you have lines going this way. Or maybe the monster is playing jump rope and he has a jump rope in his hands. You could do anything. All right, so our monster has some good tools to calm down. What else? What kind of hobbies do you like to do? Sometimes our hobbies can take our mind off of why we're grumpy. Do you like to play video games? Maybe whatever you play your video games on, you could give one to your monster. Maybe it's a computer or a phone. Or for me, I like playing video games on my Switch. So I'm going to give my monster a little Switch to play with, make him feel better. Like that. If you play a game like Minecraft or Roblox or Animal Crossing, all of those games are really creative. You're building your own world. So if anybody ever tells you, oh, you're just playing a video game, you can tell them, you know what? That's kind of like art. You get to design your own world and your own characters. That's a really good way to spend some time in another world to feel a little bit better. What's another way that we could feel transported to another world? What about reading? Does anybody like reading? Me too, I love reading. And authors make fiction stories for us. They make up whole new worlds and characters. And when we read them, we can feel like a part of that. So sometimes if we're really grumpy, maybe we could read a book and feel a little bit better. Give my monster a little book here. Maybe do some little lines for the writing in the book. What's your favorite book? I really love reading Harry Potter. That one's a fun one for me. Alrighty, what other hobbies do we have? What other things bring us a lot of joy? Do you have a pet? Does your pet bring you joy? Mine does. I have a dog and a cat, and I love them both very much. I'm going to choose a kitty cat this time. I'm going to give my monster a little pet. Maybe you want to give your monster a monster pet that doesn't look like your pet. That's okay too. But pets are a really good way to feel better. Sometimes they come and check on you, and it's actually been proven by science that kitty cats, having them purr on you or spending a lot of time petting any kind of pet, gives you really good positive chemicals in your body and makes you feel better. So a pet would be a great way to stop being grumpy. Spend some time with them. What about our family? Has your family ever helped you feel better when you were grumpy? I think that's true for me, but I don't really have a lot of space on my paper to draw a whole family of monsters. So I think I'll draw, maybe I'll put it right here in this hand. I'm going to do a little family portrait of my monsters, just to remind my little monster that he can always go to his grown-ups or his siblings to feel better. And the cool thing about drawing really tiny is I don't have to draw a really good monster. I can just draw like a blob, another blob, and then a little blob for our monster friend here. And we know that those are its grown-ups. So my monster can always be helped by family. If you have room on your paper and you want to draw a big monster back there to symbolize a grown-up that could help him, you go for it. Everybody's is going to look different when this is done. Alrighty, so I have one more arm to fill. What other things bring you joy when you do them? Or maybe make you feel really calm and collected? We've done exercise, we've done playing outside, eating healthy, doing your favorite hobbies, or checking up with our friends or our family or our pets. Can you think of any other good ideas for what you could do when you're feeling grumpy? Sleeping? Did somebody say take a nap? Has anybody ever felt better after they took a nap? I definitely have. I think in my last hand here, I'm going to draw my monster a little fluffy pillow, like that. I'll make it look fluffy. Sometimes we have to use our imagination with the things that we draw. We could also draw Z's, because that's what cartoons show sleeping with. These little Z's. So sometimes if we just take a rest, maybe take a nap, or maybe it's almost bedtime and you just go to bed a little early, in the morning you're probably going to wake up feeling better. So our monster now has lots of tools to make himself feel better when he's grumpy. And I hope that next time you feel really grumpy, that you can think about, what tools do I have to feel better? And then just choose one and give it a try. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Maybe try something different. But you don't have to wait for a grown-up to make you feel better. You can do it all on your own. You could also help your friends. Maybe you see a friend in the playground and they look really grumpy. You can maybe say, hey, why don't you just come swing with me? Maybe you'll feel better after. Or here, have a snack, right? We can all help each other. So if you really love this activity and you like drawing monsters, I love drawing monsters. If you enjoy it too, you could draw all kinds of different monsters. Maybe practice different body types, different colors. Maybe you want to draw a happy monster and draw all the reasons it's really happy. Or maybe a scared monster, and you can think about, if I were scared, how would I feel more brave? How would I feel safe? So you keep going with your monsters. You can color it in, you can paint them, you can do all kinds of stuff. You now have lots of tools for art and for feeling better when you're grumpy. So thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you next time.